My name is Seth Kweku Bani, and today I'm going to show you how to design this.
Alright guys, so let's step into today's tutorial. And then Control N, let's create a new document. Now I intend printing this, and so I am going to show you the exact settings that I'm going to use. First I'm going to call it, and then I'm going to set the width to 40 and then the height to 22 point let's say 2, and then I'm going to leave it at inches. Also I'm going to set it to 300 and then pixels per inch, and then CYMK because I'm going to print it, and then 8-bit. Now you could set here to 100 if you would love to. It's still going to get the work done, but I just want maximum quality. So that's it, and then I'll click on create. Okay, now let's drag this here. If your rulers are not showing, click on Ctrl R and your rulers would show for you to drag these lines to the place. Alright, now I could also go over here to view and then go to new guide layout, and then I'll make sure this is not ticked. I'll click here, let's see, I'll type 1 here, and then I'll type 1 here, and then that is it. So I'll set here to 0.25 inch, 0.25 inch, 0.25 inch, and 0.25 inch over here as well. Then I'll click on OK. Now what this happens is that I have given it a little bit of space that when the printer guy is cutting it, or the guy I'm going to do the design is cutting it and it doesn't cut it well, or there's any technical issue, it's going to affect only the edges. It's not going to affect the real content in there. So I'll try as much as possible, guys, to keep your content inside the line. Also, because it's going to be white and black, you also want to keep the lines around it so that the printer will know exactly how to cut it. And so I'll pick my rectangular tool and then I'll set it this way. Okay, so you see first the entire screen closed. Let's go to fill, let's set no fill, let's go here, let's set it to this, and then probably we'll set the stroke over here to 25, and then over here to set it to straight line. You can see there's a black stroke around it. This will help the guy when he's cutting the banner, to help him, to guide him to cut it, nicely for me without missing any spot. And so this is great. So we can start with our banner now. Control G, let me put this into a folder and call it BG. Now you're going to add more to it, so let's just drag this to the middle as well. Okay, so we are good to go, guys. And then let's start with our text. Probably type over here and then bring Godolo. Let's just say Godolo is the guy, the Quam, the real deal. Is the guy who has hired professionals like you and I to design this flyer for him or her. And so we are going to use Morganite, and then let's just click on Morganite. Over here, let's set the style to bold, and then the font size, let's make it quite bigger, 520. Awesome, looks quite big. Let's also make sure this is not on, and then we can make it this one if it's not all capital letters already. Now let's drag it here. My machine is not too powerful, and so you see some lagging here and there, but it's totally acceptable. I would also like to pick my rectangular tool and then draw a rectangle around it. So click on the move tool, Ctrl T. We want this to be inside it, so you can see those lines over there. Drag it like that. Amazing. And then let's see, let's drag it into the folder here, and then the Godolo, let's drag it up. Let's set the font color to white. Okay, and try as much as possible to keep it in the middle of the rectangle. You know what, let's bring a logo as well. Let's bring this logo Let's drag it in there. Alright, so let's double click it, and then let's go to color overlay, and then set here to color white, set the opacity to 100, set it to normal, click on OK. So just like that, we have our logo setting there. Godolo, Godolo, Godolo. We are done with this side. Let's also add a few text as well. Is it Godolo what? Godolo Barber Shop. So let's add it as well. Bring it here. Let's go for a different font. We don't want to use one font throughout. It's going to be so boring. So let's bring in Mentari Demo. Now make sure this is off. Also make sure here is regular. The font size, let's set it to 184.5. And then the track, let's set it to 0. Also, let's click here to make it quite bolder. Let's see. Great. Now, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's drag it somewhere here. You want to set the font's color to color black. So now we can't see anything. But then let's double click it. And let's go to stroke. And let's set the color over here to color white. So you see it over here. And then let's set the stroke size to 40. Also, let's make sure it's outside normal, opacity 100%, color white. Let's click on OK. Alright. So this is quite great. Let's see. Alright, one more thing. I also want you to type here and type U. Great. Now let's go and look for Holimount Swash. Guys, don't worry, I'm going to leave it in the description for you as I always do. Let's give it the font size 263. Awesome. And then also let's make it color black here as usual. And then the tracking is also 0. Also regular here, doesn't really matter, but let's click on our move tool and then let's move it somewhere here. Now we can't see anything, so let's double click on it. Let's go to stroke. Let's set here to 20. Click on enter. Control T, transform it, and then let's just move it like that. And move it like that. And then enter. Let's drag it beneath barbershop. Now let's try and then let's move it somewhere here. Okay, let's open it. Let's see. Let's take this one off. Let's see how it's going to be. Alright guys, so we are done with barbershop. Let's put it in the folder. And let's call it Godolo. And then let's try and then center it. This is already great. Let's somewhere here. Let's bring in another something. Amazing. Let's Control T and let's drag it to the middle here. Great. Now let's duplicate this and then let's drag it up. We also want to zoom in a lot. And then let's pull it here like that. Amazing. Let's drag this side here. Drag it until it hits the line over here. And then enter. Let's see. What do we have? I love it. Alright. So let's put these two into our background as well. And I think we are done with our background. This is all we need for our background. Now the next thing is our lines. Let's pick this. And then let's draw. Let's duplicate it. And then let's just move it like that. Okay. You see what I'm trying to do? I just want the line over here, the space over here, sorry, to be the exact space over here. So I'm trying so hard to create that. I think this is great. I think this is great. Hold Shift and Alt and start moving it from here. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit. I think let's bring it in slightly. Wow, this is great. Now select here, select everything here, Control T, and then let's zoom in a little bit. Let's pull it down like that. So I think this is great. We are done with it. Now the first one, let's go and bring this young gentleman, handsome guy, and then let's right click it and then flip horizontal and then drag him this side and then drag him that one. Alright, so you can see that both the top and then the down fits into the circle nicely. Now right click it and then create clipping mask. So he's inside there. I like that. Click on the second one. And then let's go and pick this fine gentleman as well. Drag him in there. You also want the top to hit there like that. Also want to create clipping mask. Now let's send him up a little bit. Move him up a little bit. Okay. So it looks quite great. Click on the third one. And then let's pick this gentleman. Drag him in there. You also want the top of it to fit here, or exceed it a little bit. Drag him until it fills the entire space, and then create clipping mask. Now you can see their heads are proportional. The sizes are quite the same. Even if they are not the same, they look the same. So it's quite great. Click over here on the last rectangle. Let's drag this guy. I love this guy in the movie Power. You should watch it, guys. He was not too tough though, but I love the way he was quiet and very calm. Very promising actor. Alright, so this guy, let's create clipping mask. But the difference is that his head is too small. These guys, their heads are too big. So let's try and then make his head too big. Okay, big head boy. Now let's put everything in a folder. And then let's duplicate it, hide this one, and then Control E to merge the top one. So this is it. We can always come back for it again if we want to make some changes. Okay, but this is the one we are going to use. This one. This is the one we are going to use. Now the reason why I did this is because in CYMK sometimes it's very difficult for you to get your black and white over here. It's quite difficult, and so I do it this way so that I can go to image, go to adjustment, and then go to desaturate. That way I can desaturate it. Alright, so you can see it has been desaturated. Now let's go over here and let's pick our levels, clip it to it. Now the levels, leave here the same, but this side let's use 0.82. Okay, over here as well, let's set it to 245. So just like that, we have a very cool effect as well. Now let's put both everything in a folder, and then let's call it images. Now let's put our text here. Let's bring our lines, our text to, let's type this, copy and paste it there. Alright, so now let's go and click over here, and then let's use Helvetica Condensed. I'm going to leave this in the description as well for you to download. It's Helvetica, but there's quite a different version of it. Now setting here to regular, and then the font size we are going to use 234, and then the tracking, we are going to set the tracking to 0. Now we're going to change the font color soon, but then let's start with the adjustments. Let's see. resize it a little bit. Alright, now let's go back. I think let's take this one off. Okay, now let's click on our move tool, and then let's move it somewhere here and drag the side down. I also think it's too big, so let's resize it quite a little. Okay, click on enter. Now let's bring our lines. Let's click over here. Let's click on the rounded rectangle tool, and then let's go here, set the radius to 50. Also make sure the fill here is color white and there's no stroke. Then let's create a shape over here, drag it down, click over here on the text, and let's set it to color black. Now as usual, let's zoom in and let's make sure it is centered very well. It falls in the middle of everything. Now let's fix some few details on top of it as well. Let's click here and then let's type this, the working hours, over there. We also want to set the color white, and then we are going to use Montserrat. We're also going to set the color to color white, and then we're going to set the font size to 57. The tracking, we're going to set it to 0. We're going to set it to color white over here. And let's see. Okay, so let's move it, and then this, and then this. Let's move it up a little bit. Now we want this to fall within the middle of the rectangle, so let's come back here. Alright, so I think this does. Alright, and so you can see it falls from here to here. This falls in the middle of it. Also from here and then down here, the space there seems to be equal, and so that's how you should be thinking as a graphic designer, guys. It's quite great. Now I also like to bring some few pictures over here, and so I would go to my folder and then drag those items into the Photoshop as well. Okay, so this is going to be working hours. I'd like to drag this up, and let's see, this is the image. Let's drag this one also out of it. Okay, let's bring the others as well. I'd like to bring this cream in there. Okay, I'll duplicate it, and then the one down, I'll click it, and then hold shift and then resize it. Probably will move it somewhere here. Now don't leave it like this. You want the bottom part to go up over here. Should start from somewhere like this, so this makes it quite realistic. And then also I would like to bring this into Photoshop as well. And then last but not the least, so let's drag this also into Photoshop. Let's resize it. Right click it and then flip horizontal. Probably will move it somewhere here. And then I would also move this as well, very close to it, so I can have more space for this to come here. And then this would, which one is this? Okay, so this would also come in a little bit. So let's put it in the folder. Oh, this is actually a banner, not even a flyer. Let's call it items. Alright guys, if you love this video, hit the bell icon and subscribe to this channel as well. I love you all guys. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Peace.